Tom here with Dakota Yote varmint calls. As you can see, we got a flat tire on the old rig and we've lost an engine. So we're just kind of waiting here for the tow truck to show up, and I thought maybe we'd just go over the Dakota Yote series of varmint calls. We've got 5 different calls in the series, and the first one I'm going to talk about is the Yoter. The Yoter has a raspy little mylar reed in it, and it's a very easy call to blow, and it's got the reed in the mouthpiece, so it's very difficult for it to freeze up, and it's very easy to maintain and clean. And it's going to sound like this. The next call in the series of Dakota Yote calls is the Badlander. And you can see it's a little more distinctive from the Yoter in the fact that it's got a longer barrel and it's got a red mouthpiece. The red mouthpiece indicates that it has a different reed in it than what the Yoter has in it. So it's going to sound like this. That's a distress sound of a rabbit, jackrabbit, or something to that effect. But you can also do fawn bleats with it, and it's going to sound like this. And we're just going to cup our hand over that barrel, and we're going to make that reed break at a different section, and it's going to sound more like a fawn bleat. It's going to sound like this. So that is the Badlander. The other mouth-blown call that we have is the Dakota Yote Howler. It's unique in the fact that its soundboard is concave on the surface and concave on the tip. What that does, it allows you to use the entire soundboard for making coyote vocalizations. Also, it's almost impossible for that reed to freeze up, because when the air hits it, it wants to force the reed off the soundboard and not gum it up and set down on top of it. The howler, we can make all different types of howls with it, but generally we're going to use interrogation howls, and they're going to sound like this. Now, if you want to sound like a younger coyote or a female, we're just going to slide out on that reed a little bit, get a little higher pitch, and it'll sound like this. Then you can also work your way all the way to the end, force the air across there, and that's going to give your pup distress sounds. It's a very effective call. Brings in a lot of male and female coyotes that are dominant in the area. It's going to sound like this. That's what it's going to sound like. Another thing that you can do with the howler is you can take the mouthpiece off of it, grab your little Yoter call, take the barrel off of it, and all those barrels are made so that they amplify the sound and make it sound more realistic. So we're going to take that howler mouthpiece and we're going to put it on that little short Yoter barrel, and we're going to make ourselves a free, like getting a free call, distress call. It's going to sound like this. Great open reed little call, and again, because it has that concave surface, concave tip, it's almost impossible to freeze this call up. Once we get those coyotes coming in, we want to coax them up to them. We want to quit using those mouth-blown calls. We see that coyote coming in or that fox or something, we're going to switch over to a coaxer call. We have 2 coaxer calls. The first one is the squeeze squaller. It's distinctive because it has an orange bulb with it, and it's going to have a raspy sound. It's going to sound kind of like a prairie dog or something like that. It's going to sound like this. Now again, we can add that barrel on there, which is going to amplify that sound, and it's going to sound a little bit louder like this. Now, if you don't have the ability for lung capacity or something like that to use one of our mouth-blown calls, this is a great little call that you can go out and use as a distress sound to call in any type of varmint you want. Coyotes, fox, cats, whatever. The last call in our series is the super squeaker. And it's going to be distinctive because it's going to be black. And it's also going to have that short little barrel package with it to amplify the sound if need be, but I generally don't use it that way. But as that coyote's coming in, he stops to take a look at you, just give him one of these. And you'll be surprised how that coyote reacts to it. They generally come dead flat running in at you. If you're a person that uses a lot of electronic calls, once that coyote starts coming in, just shut that electronic call off and go right to your super squeaker. And you can use it down by your side, and they're going to be able to hear it and they're going to react to it. All the Dakota Yote calls come in similar packaging. It's going to say Dakota Yote on it, and it's going to have the name of the particular call in it. You'll find it in your stores. Good luck. Go out and have a great time with Dakota Yote varmint calls. Hope that tow truck gets here. Did you guys see your coyote someplace? Did you hear that coyote howling out there?